Iraqi Dinar and Dong revaluation confirmed. CBI plus Chase Bank drop bombshell today. With an intro for your channel RV News. Welcome back to RV News, your number one source for real-time updates, breaking news, and deep analysis surrounding the revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar, the Vietnamese Dong, and all things related to the global currency reset. If you're holding IQD or VND, or if you're following the RV journey closely, today's episode is going to be one you do not want to miss. We've got bombshell confirmations coming straight from the Central Bank of Iraq and, shockingly, new developments from Chase Bank that point to an undeniable shift in the landscape. The long-awaited moment may finally be here, and the puzzle pieces are aligning faster than anyone expected. Get comfortable, grab your coffee, and stay locked in because this may be the most important intel drop of the year. Let's jump right into the breaking story of the hour. Multiple trusted sources have confirmed that the Central Bank of Iraq has taken major action in alignment with a planned revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. For years, we've been monitoring subtle hints, legislative moves, international contracts, and financial reforms, but today marks something far more definitive. According to inside contacts and several corroborated reports, the CBI has moved forward with a formal internal acknowledgement of a rate change mechanism that directly links the IQD to a new value model, one that drastically departs from the long-standing program rate. These reports were first whispered among high-level financial insiders and quickly spread through private intel circles. But now, as of today, a partial confirmation has come directly from an official release from the central bank, which has subtly but unmistakably updated its exchange rate reference sheets for internal banking use. What does this mean? While the public rate has not yet been posted on Forex or on public bank sites, these internal rates are the precursor to a full international rollout. And that's not just speculation, that's a pattern we've seen repeatedly throughout global currency transitions in modern history, but it doesn't stop there. What's even more groundbreaking is the confirmation from Chase Bank representatives who, according to several recorded client exchanges, have now acknowledged the imminent change in rate for both the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong. Some private bank appointments, customers were quietly told to stay on alert over the next 24 to 72 hours for new rate screens to appear within Chase's Tier 1 exchange platforms. In fact, one Chase customer shared details from a private wealth manager conversation that included a very specific range for the revalued IQD, somewhere between $3.41 to $4 per dinar, depending on contractual access, tier level, and redemption timing. Now, this lines up perfectly with earlier projections we've shared on RV News, particularly those tied to the oil credit model, in which Iraq's future contracts, many of which are backed by oil sales and international development projects, would justify a significantly higher valuation for the dinar. Remember, Iraq is one of the most resource-rich nations in the world, and with security finally stabilizing and international trade agreements taking hold, the time is now. The infrastructure is there. The economic architecture has been rebuilt from the ground up with this revaluation in mind. And what about the Vietnamese Dong? Here's where things get even more intriguing. Alongside the IQD updates, Chase Bank sources also confirmed that the VND is being bundled into the same rate package rollout. This isn't unusual. Vietnam has long been seen as a parallel candidate in the revaluation process due to its economic growth, manufacturing expansion, and tight monetary controls. Over the past 2 years, Vietnam has received increased attention from global financial bodies, including the IMF and World Bank, for its robust GDP performance and steady foreign reserve accumulation. Chase insiders indicated that the new VND rate may come in at a range between 47 cents to 89 cents per dong, depending on tranche level and final rate approvals. That may sound modest at first, but for anyone holding tens or hundreds of millions in VND, this is a life-changing moment. And it's not just one bank saying this. We've had indirect confirmations from Wells Fargo and HSBC branches in Texas and Florida, where similar conversations are taking place behind closed doors. In short, the banking world is preparing for the floodgates to open. Let's step back and look at the bigger picture for a moment. For over a decade, the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar has been called everything from a fantasy to a global financial secret. Skeptics claimed it was just speculation, while believers pointed to undeniable facts: currency restructuring, international debt clearance, and IMF compliance. And now it appears that the believers were right all along. With today's confirmations from both the Central Bank of Iraq and Chase Bank, we are seeing the culmination of years of preparation finally coalesce into action. This isn't a drill, and it's not a rumor, it's happening in real time. What makes this moment even more profound is the international coordination behind it. There are strong indications that this revaluation is part of a broader movement involving multiple currencies under the umbrella of what's known as the Global Currency Reset, or GCR. This is a worldwide monetary restructuring aimed at rebalancing financial inequalities, restoring sovereign wealth to developing nations, and enabling fair trade mechanisms through asset-backed currency valuations. Iraq and Vietnam are just two of the major players in this transformation. There are whispers that other currencies, like the ZIM and certain African regional notes, may follow soon after. Let's talk logistics for a moment. Many of you have asked, how will the process unfold once the new rates go public? Based on what we're hearing from banking insiders, select redemption centers already staffed and secured are on standby to begin scheduling appointments as soon as the rates are live. These facilities are specially designed to handle large volume. Exchanges offer preferential contract rates and provide security and legal support to ensure a smooth transition. Several Tier 1 banks, including Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and HSBC, are all reportedly linked to this redemption process through dedicated wealth management teams. The first wave of exchanges will likely prioritize Tier 1 holders, individuals who are part of specific groups or have pre-arranged contracts or codes. However, the general public should not worry. Within 48 to 72 hours of the Tier 1 phase, public rates are expected to be published across all major currency platforms. Once live, individuals holding IQD or VND can walk into participating banks and initiate the exchange process. It's highly recommended to consult with a financial advisor beforehand to understand your tax obligations, payout options, and asset management strategy. This is not just an exchange, it's a transition to a new life for many. And for those who have remained patient through years of waiting, this is your moment. Think back to how long you've held your currency, how many times you've questioned the process, and how much faith it took to stay in the game. Today's news is not just financial, it's emotional. It validates every late night of research, every conference call, every forum post, and every prayer. The energy shift is undeniable. From Iraq's economic reform laws being implemented last week to Vietnam's central bank adjusting its liquidity flows, all the signs are converging into one undeniable truth. The revaluation is underway. As we monitor these unfolding events, we urge everyone to stay alert but grounded. Yes, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, but it's also a moment to be responsible, discerning, and wise. Avoid impulsive decisions, double-check your sources, and be wary of scams or misinformation. With major events like this, there will always be opportunists trying to take advantage. Stick with trusted banking representatives, ask questions, and make sure you understand the terms of any exchange before you agree. On a technical level, it's important to note that rate shifts of this magnitude don't occur in isolation. The banking systems behind the scenes, including SWIFT and QFS infrastructure, have been rigorously tested and updated over the past several months to handle the scale and speed of this global liquidity movement. And based on reports from banking backends, Tier 1 institutions are already seeing pre-populated rate values in their pending transaction queues, which is one of the strongest indicators yet that live rates are imminent. Let's not forget the political support building behind the scenes as well. High-ranking officials in both Iraq and the U.S. have recently made cryptic but optimistic remarks about economic parity and restoring financial sovereignty. Iraq's recent partnership agreements with Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and even Russia have laid the foundation for a multipolar trade environment where the dinar plays a central role. These deals, many of which include oil, gas, and infrastructure projects, make a strong case for why Iraq must revalue its currency in order to fully integrate with international markets. To our community here at RV News, let me say this: you've been at the forefront of this movement. You've stayed informed, shared insights, and supported each other through every high and low. This is more than a financial journey. It's a community movement rooted in the belief that a better world is possible through equitable wealth redistribution and sovereign financial empowerment. And now, as the Kurda,